Have you ever found yourself pulling away from someone the moment things started getting really good? Maybe you started arguments over nothing. Maybe you went cold without knowing why. Maybe you just disappeared, even though a part of you didn't want to. If that sounds familiar, you're not broken, and you're definitely not alone. What you might be experiencing is something psychologists call self-sabotage in attachment. And it's more common than most people realize, especially in people who actually feel deeply. So let's talk about why this happens, what your brain is really doing, and what it might be trying to tell you. Number one, your nervous system confuses closeness with danger. Here's something that surprises a lot of people. For some of us, feeling loved doesn't feel safe. It feels threatening. This often traces back to early experiences where closeness was followed by pain, disappointment, or abandonment. Your nervous system learned a pattern. The closer you get, the more there is to lose. So when someone starts to feel important to you, your brain quietly fires an alarm. Not because the person is dangerous, but because vulnerability is. You don't push them away because you don't care. You push them away because you care too much, and that terrifies you. Number two, you become hypervigilant for signs it will fall apart. Once you're emotionally invested, something shifts. You start scanning, looking for proof that this person will eventually leave, disappoint, or betray you. A late reply becomes rejection. A change in tone becomes a warning sign. A quiet moment becomes evidence that something is wrong. Psychologists call this negative prediction bias. Your brain, trying to protect you, starts building a case for why this won't last. And sometimes, without realizing it, you start building the ending yourself, because ending it on your terms feels safer than being blindsided. Number three, you test people without meaning to. This one is hard to see in yourself, but a lot of self-sabotage looks like testing. You pick a fight to see if they'll stay. You go distant to see if they'll chase. You say something harsh to see if they'll leave. These aren't conscious decisions. They're your attachment system asking a question it never got a clear answer to growing up. Will you stay even when I'm difficult? Am I worth staying for? The problem is, not everyone knows they're being tested. And some people, even good ones, eventually stop trying. Not because they didn't care, but because the cycle exhausted them. Number four, intimacy triggers your old identity. Here's something that doesn't get talked about enough. Sometimes we push people away because getting close to them forces us to confront who we believe we are. If deep down you carry a belief that you're too much, not enough, hard to love, or destined to be alone, then someone treating you with genuine care creates a conflict. Their love doesn't match your internal story. And the mind, as strange as it sounds, often chooses the familiar story over the unfamiliar love. Accepting affection feels wrong when you've been wired to feel undeserving of it. Number five, you confuse calm love with losing the spark. A lot of people grow up associating love with intensity. The push and pull, the drama, the highs and lows. It feels electric, alive. So when a relationship becomes steady, kind, and consistent, it can feel strangely flat. Not because it's wrong, but because your nervous system doesn't recognize peace as love. It only recognizes chaos as familiar. So you create friction. You seek drama. You misread safety as boredom and intensity as passion, when really, you've just never learned what it feels like to be loved without conditions. Number six, you fear that being fully known means being fully rejected. As long as someone doesn't know all of you, there's still a version of safety. If they leave, it wasn't really you they were leaving. But if you let someone see every part of you, the insecure parts, the messy parts, the parts you're ashamed of, and they still leave, that one cuts deep. So some people never get there. They keep just enough hidden. They stay just guarded enough to preserve that last layer of protection. What they don't realize is that the connection they're longing for can only exist in the place they're most afraid to go. Number seven, healing starts with noticing the pattern, not fighting it. Here is the thing about self-sabotage. You can't think your way out of it. You have to feel your way through it. The first step isn't to force yourself to stay open. It's to get curious. Next time you feel the urge to pull away from someone who's done nothing wrong, pause. Ask yourself, what am I actually afraid of right now? Is this person the threat? Or is this the old story running again? That one question, asked honestly, is where change begins. Because awareness doesn't fix the wound overnight, but it stops you from letting the wound keep making your decisions. If any of this resonated with you, it means you're already doing the hard work of understanding yourself. And that is not small. Have you ever caught yourself pushing someone away when things got real? Share your experience in the comments. You might help someone else feel less alone in this. And if you want to go deeper, our next video breaks down the 4 attachment styles and which one might be quietly shaping all of your relationships. Take care of yourself. You deserve the love you keep giving to everyone else.